Hi Scorpio, I'm Chi and welcome to my channel Luminance Tarot. I'm brand new here and I appreciate you taking time to check out my reading. I have a welcome to YouTube special going. It is $10 for a 15-minute recorded video I'll send you, and $20 for a half an hour like Skype Zoom meeting. But let's jump in. You can get that information below. Let's jump in and see what's going on. As I was connecting with you, I felt a lot of desire, and these two cards just popped up. I read with the Deva deck this month. It's a 5-suit deck. The 5th set is the Triax, which is electrical ethereal energy, and I'll talk about it as it comes up. I got the High Priestess in reverse, which here speaks about coming to relax about right and wrong, and coming to the alchemy of blending the binary, if you will, and knowing that all sides are necessary. And then the Seven of Swords here is challenging, but the challenge is to let healing happen, to sometimes look at our diet, to look at the ways that we're thinking, to look at the ways that we're kind of over manipulating a situation so that we're not letting the healing flow come in. So I was saying I was picking up on desire and action, clarity. So just calling in all benefic teachers, ancestors, and angels to talk to us about life for Scorpio in the season of Aries, March 21 through April 19. Please give us wonderful guidance that we can use to create our lives in our highest image of ourselves. All right. You jumped right out as the Queen of Swords. This queen, I'm going to go ahead and set us down here. This queen can have some control issues. She can be very direct and knows what she wants, which is really, I find, quite often with Scorpio people. You are clear and you're very good at creating the world that you want. And it's important to really modulate. I think we're going to be talking about how do we fine-tune a lot this reading. That's what I'm getting, more so than like big tune, but we'll see what the story has to say. I want to focus a little nicer for you, but it wants to do it automatically. So things are, you're in a very important time. The events that are happening right now are shaping your destiny and shaping the way life will be going forward. And there's not a lot of clarity around that right now. And it is messing with your control issues. The Star Reverse is still a boon card, but the purple path isn't quite clear on how we're going to get there. And so it becomes an exercise and a discipline of faith and trust and inner listening. And by that listening, I don't mean the picking apart intellectually of things. More so, I mean the instinctual, honest with yourself, honest and pure, more pure instinct than analysis and trying to figure out how things are supposed to be, especially if it's related around finances, if it's related around money and things aren't clear. If you're starting a business, wondering what's going to happen with the job, you don't over tweak, don't over push. Come back on inside yourself, get organized, and move from there. Move from inside self as opposed to trying to push will on the world, because you can't enforce your will on others. And you can't move from your will when you and your soul haven't clarified the next process of your will, because you are ready for a lot of change. I'm reading towards you. So the Star and Death are inverted and the Queen of Swords is upright. This is and look at how well these ladies match up here in their movement. They're moving along together for you. This is that unconscious peeling away, the outmoded ways. This is, this makes sense because the lack of clarity and the ask for trust that we have in the Star is mirrored in the Death inverted, because that means we don't know always what's to let go. We're changing in ways that we don't understand. It's like the first time, say, a snake sloughed off its skin and it didn't know what was happening. It's a process called ecdysis. So the first time it happened, it made me swirl in my seat. The first time it happens, you're not familiar with it. And maybe it falls unconscious every time it happens when it's time to move through these lessons. But you are making big changes into the outside world. You're still clear and in control, but what's happening underneath is real. It is real, it is deep, it is mental, and it is passionate. Whatever has been off, you can't, it's the, this card is a culmination, the Ten of Wands here, but the intense, the relief of a lot of intensity being done with, but it's also a call back to passion. It's a call like, how do we get back at passion when you're feeling so, a need for isolation or feeling isolated. The Four of Swords reversed and the Five of Pentacles reversed are not the harsher side of the Five of Pentacles, and it's not as, there's permeability in the Four of Swords reversed, but there's still an isolation. It's like you're saying, I need to keep to myself. I can't find my spark, and I don't know what's going to spark me up, because you're so used to feeling like you know what's going on, like you're in control, and you have a clear vision. You know where you're going, you know what you want, and this earth sign man, Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo, if that's a person you're intersecting with, they're very clear on where they're going and their desires, as you have been. But now, just because you know where you want to go doesn't mean that the road is going to be clear, and it's going to stay misty. The Prince of Triax is a guy who they're in the court suit in the Triax. They all have they're ethereal. They could be any sign embodying that kind of can't quite touch it, can't quite put my finger on it energy. And you're gonna have to allow yourself the space. Yeah. Woo. This is not a comfortable space for you. You're going to have to allow yourself a space of not knowing how, of not knowing what you want, because I think you do know what you want, but you have to allow for inspiration more so than the exercise of pushing desire. So this is a good time to also like peel back the layer on some of these desires. Why do you desire what you desire? Is it really coming from within you? Is it media messaging? Is it familial messaging? Is it social messaging? Are you really deciding? Because this Princess of Triax is a great energy for art and inspiration and creating and starting projects. Great time to start writing down ideas for projects, picking back up projects, especially since most of Aries season is going to be, all of Aries season is going to be in a retrograde. with, I think Mercury is in retrograde in Aries, but check with one of the amazing astrologers for certain here on YouTube for those placements. But it is a great time to take in art, take in whatever inspires you. If it's not art, if it's sports or football or run, like whatever inspires you, take it in and let it move you. Let it move you through these transitions, because you have we have a bit of ways to go, and encountering this person will be of help, but it's kind of quizzical. Like this can be a person where this Prince of Triads, you're not, they don't tend to be have bad intentions, but there's something kind of untouchable about them. Like you can't put your finger on it. And this energy, especially like, so if it's coming from an earth sign energy, it might feel like 1 minute I'm certain about the person, the next minute I feel like they're floating in space, you know, and you, in feeling that way yourself, like 1 minute I'm totally clear, the next, and I'm moving through a space where I'm just not sure. So in our environment, what is causing this in the situation is not everybody wants the same thing. This is a situation that I'm picking up on where your long-term goals are not compatible. Your long-term goals or desires are not compatible, but your short-term ones are. Short-term, you can work, like it, there's enough mutuality to move through shorter term projects, but this isn't for the long haul. There's a fundamental difference that's going to prevent it from being in the long haul. Let's look at your desires. You're wanting to reshape your world in a whole new way, and that's why you have to move through this process of uncertainty. To do that, you can't know every detail. You can, you know, when it in this uncertainty, you know what is great to do is to focus on the qualities that you're looking for. Are you looking to generate more abundance? Do you want to feel more clarity? Do you want to feel more compassion? Do you want to create more community? Do you want to be in a space of innovation? Focus on the qualities that shape your new world more so than it looks like this, because you're still in the creative process of what it looks like. You're on a whole new trip. You are really, there's so much ethereal energy with people. These three court cards, there's only one that didn't pop out in terms of triax people, but this woman is a really benefic energy. Really benefic energy. And I think it's how you're wanting to become. You're wanting to take it up a level as you move into this new journey. These are our penny outcome cards. As you move into this new journey, you're really wanting to take it up a level. You're wanting to be in the world in a different way. You're wanting to be in yourself in a different way. And I suspect that that's why we're at the 10 of Wands. We have to get back to the inspiration. So what gets us back to a sense of inspiration? Let's see. Gorgeous. What takes us back to inspiration is deepening the creativity, getting our emotional balance. Temperaments is the equilibrium of everything in our life. And we don't have any water cards yet here present, but a lot of that can be emotional balancing and refinding the tools. You are well on your way. This reading is making me happy because it's really just a matter of getting comfortable with your uncomfortable spaces. It's all on you in our outcome row and our subconscious here. It's all on you. You have all the tools you need. You're just figuring out how to balance it out and and how to use your intensity in a productive way. Yeah, and just keeping organized. Let me see who else. What is the not matching up? That situation where we kind of would have rather it be long-term forever, but it might just be a pit stop. What's going on? Ooh, that's too much. What's going on? Three of tracks. What's going on? You're here. Oh, you're here about a juggling act and learning to use powers and learning to work with this Princess of Cups. This Princess of Cups is someone that you've known before, an earth sign person, possibly younger, can be either gender, even though it's framed here as a woman. It's been a long-standing thing. I think because it's hard to move away from. It's hard to understand how something that has these long-standing karmic ties don't move all the way into this new life. But it's a juggling act, and through the juggling, both you and them come to understand how to use your energy and your powers better. But the thing here, I love that I don't see a lot of friction about it. This is, you're really poised to pull yourself along through insight. We're going to take another, let's look back at the past and see. I love this. This reading is making me very, very happy. And I hope it's making you happy too. Let's talk about our Prince of Discs, because we have the ethereal family and we have the earth family. Ah, that's where this is super. We've been known each other a long time with the Wheel of Fortune. So it looks like you've resolved. Like it was really, really hard, that battle with the self, this internal battle when our ideas and our ideals do match up. This card is about when we come to, there's a lot of denial comes up with this card because we want it to work. It looks great and we want it to work. But once it progresses to the 8, we've duked out why it doesn't work. We've had the battle of the self. We twisted and contorted our minds, our hearts, our spirit. We've accommodated people. We have tried, because it's a deep, deep tie. It's a deep lesson and it's a deep tie, and we want it to work. But you've got the guidance. The 10 of Triax talks about guidance from your intuition, your guides, angels, ancestors, spirits, talks about that kind of inspiration, and getting that information and being able to discern what is right to move on now, and what's right for you, and that discernment in there. So you've done the rough stuff, and now you're kind of like, this is beautiful and it's not forever, and I'm moving to a whole nother level. Like this is like a whole nother level. If people have hurt, if this has been like super painful, nasty, messy, this can be messy. If this is a divorce or leaving a job or breakups, this can be messy. You are moving, you are shedding a skin, and you're moving to a place where it just doesn't even touch you anymore. It doesn't define you. You stop defining yourself within the parameters of this relationship, and you become you again. You're ready to use your power, and you're deeply centered. Let's look at the world you're creating over here in our hopes and desires. What do we need to know for our wonderful Scorpios in this creation process through the spring? We got a 1, You got the 2. Well, there's good supportive love and energy coming at you, and this person is really getting their shit together. If you or they were coming with a lot of rules and it's got to be like this and it's got to be like that, we're going to start letting this go and get back to the love. Get back to the love. This is the Hierophant in the Deva deck, and it speaks to self mastery and balancing that out. When it's a little murky here because it's not when it's not upright, it's talking about like what are the final pieces that need to come into place to bring it all together. It's still a lot of self-mastery that this person is working with, but how do I say it? They don't have the whole story yet. It's not fully integrated. The Separator, let me show it to you upright, is a 22nd card in the Major Arcane, which is when we come all together, body, mind, spirit, soul. It's that integration. And there's a struggle to do that, which, I mean, it's a crazy mixed up world always, and especially now. So as you're creating, to say be patient, there's a patience that you need to cultivate because you're in totally new territory, and you're gonna come out like by midsummer. I feel like mid-July is gonna be some hot, wonderful time for you. This is all you need to move through, literally like the season of spring for this to make sense. This is your blossoming. And be patient, be clear. Do I see, this is the nastiness. This is, if this has been resonating to you as a love relationship, you have new love waiting for you. They have some stuff they're pulling together, but they are working on it. These cards talk about consciously working on it. It's not going unconscious and just creating from an unconscious place. They are here, ready to be connected, ready to love, ready to share, ready to collaborate and grow with you. All right. So I'm going to wrap it up with a couple of cards from the Tantric Dakini Oracle, which I absolutely love. And let's see what messages we get. The Living Goddess. Woo! The High Priestess. And who else is joining the party? Asylum. I'm going to read from the book for these. Living Goddess. The earthly manifestation of spiritual qualities, the concept of being chosen, a sense of duty towards higher ideals, an evolved self-development to meet a position which one has been put in, either in the world or out of it. It indicates the potency of the miraculous and an evolved aesthetical position of reference. This card is particularly positive in a spiritual sense, suggesting compassion and resignation. It's also in the regular tarot deck, it's the Justice card. So the High Priestess. And we have her, she started out our reading, right? Oh, she was our jumper when I was shuffling. So, serious intention to find the meaning behind all phenomenon. The intention to dedicate oneself to the search for enlightenment and a deep interest in the occult. This is a boon card, a blessing, a guardian angel showing the intuitive path through the mysteries. Ast is related, or Isis, is related to the dark aspect of the moon and to the astrological sign Scorpio, the gnosis, the cycles of nature, indicating the attainment of wishes, particularly spiritual fulfillment. Meditate upon her as the wondrous and beautiful galaxy which guards many deep secrets. Let me give you a closer look at her. It's nice, right? Asylum. Find a place of refuge and recuperation, free from all worldly concerns. Believe in the powers of imagination and take up a position of contemplation with regard to any question or problem. Trust the pure potency of the intuition and you will not go astray. This card suggests a feeling of well-being when left alone, away from worldly problems. It is a magical omen of a positive order, the precise influences of which can be determined with its reference to its placement in a spread that I'm not doing right now. But it's an awesome card. The unicorn nests in the boughs of a tree which overlook the beautiful verdant field. This is an idyllic and magical place, the fairy tale land in which imagination takes rest and refuge. So I will be coming back and doing a spreads with the Tantric Oracle. Sorry to tease you like that. But I think it spoke volumes to wrap everything up. I hope you enjoyed our time together. I hope you will like, subscribe, and share, and give a personal reading a try with my new to YouTube special. Thank you, Scorpio. Have a blessed day.